We are about to see potentially one of the biggest severe weather outbreaks of May so far, if not even the whole year. So I'm going to be talking about what you need to know about this major severe weather setup that we're getting in parts of the plains in the Midwest. So let's get right into it. Before we start the video, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I might go live today. It's Sunday, May 17th, 2026, and we have a large area to be watching for potential severe weather today. And one is up there in parts of the Midwest, Great Lakes region, and the plains, and then one is down into the southeast. There's going to be a potential that we could see some tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail today. There's a marginal risk going from northern Texas all the way into the Great Lakes region, where some severe weather is going to be a possibility today. Isolated severe weather, that's a level 1 out of 5. Then there's a level 2 out of 5 slight risk going out from southern Minnesota down to northwestern Oklahoma. And then we got an enhanced risk out here from southwestern Minnesota down to parts of northern Kansas. It's enhanced risk, enhanced risk is level 3 out of 5. Marginal risk down here in the southeast. If we switch over to the tornado threat, you can see today it's going to be a big day for tornadoes, as you can see right here. We have a 15% tornado risk. This is pretty rare, and it's a pretty high probability that we're probably going to see some tornadoes out here today. It's a 15% tornado risk. This is going to be a serious severe weather storm. These are not the type of storms that you don't want to be messing with. There's a tornado conditional intensity group 1 risk, which are those dashed lines, which mean that we could be seeing strong tornadoes today, potentially EF2 plus. So that's also something to be watching very closely. Notice how the 2% goes into parts of Michigan. That means we could be seeing maybe even an isolated tornado out here. That's also something to be watching. We're also going to be looking at the threat for some damaging winds today, especially with this 30% wind risk, as we could be seeing winds up to 70 miles per hour, or maybe even more. So definitely strap down unsecured objects so you don't fly away. We're also going to be looking at a chance for some large to very large hail today, potentially up to hen egg size. So definitely large to very large hail is going to be a potential, so make sure you're parking your car in the garage so that doesn't get damaged by hail. And then out here in the southeast, we're mainly looking at a chance for some damaging winds and a small hail threat. And then for tomorrow on Monday, the severe weather threat really starts to get very serious. This could be one of the worst severe weather setups of May, if not this year, as the Storm Prediction Center issued a moderate risk for severe weather out here as an upgrade for northeastern Kansas and southeastern Nebraska. There's also enhanced risk going around that. And keep in mind, a moderate risk is a level 4 out of 5, so that's pretty rare. So definitely be weather aware if you're out here tomorrow, as we could be seeing strong tornadoes and potential tornado outbreak with a 2% tornado risk going from northern Texas into parts of Michigan. There's a 5% tornado risk going from western Kentucky, western Oklahoma into the UP of Michigan, a 10% out here from northern Oklahoma into parts of southwestern Iowa, and then actually 15% tornado risk actually outlined here, with a tornado conditional intensity group 2 risk, meaning that we could be seeing violent tornadoes tomorrow, EF3 plus potentially, and strong tornadoes, EF2 plus in the dash lines, but in the more solid lines, and we could be seeing violent tornadoes. So tomorrow is likely going to be a pretty significant severe weather day. We're also going to be having some damaging winds with it. As you can see here, definitely make sure to strap down on unsecured objects tomorrow if you're out here, as there's going to be some strong winds. And we're also going to be looking at a chance for very large hail, especially with this 45% hail risk and the hail conditional intensity group 2 risk. Be seeing very large hail today. Could be seeing very large hail tomorrow, so definitely be prepared for that, as Monday could be one of the worst severe weather setups of May, if not this year so far. And it doesn't stop there. As we get into Tuesday, we'll have another severe weather threat all the way from central Texas into the Great Lakes region, as you can see here. So Tuesday, I think there's mainly going to be a damaging wind and hail threat. Not the feature radar. This is what it could look like through today. As HRRR, you can see that we're going to have some storms start forming out here. Some supercells around 3 p.m. produce maybe some tornadoes out there. And then you can really see these storms start to come together here around northwestern Iowa, southeastern South Dakota, and northeastern Nebraska. I think that's going to be the area. That's the area that we have that 15% tornado risk, this area out here. So definitely we're going to have a chance for some strong tornadoes out there, and a good chance that we could have a tornado outbreak. As you can see, that thing is going to turn into a mesoscale convective system, which is going to be that kind of a cluster of line of storms right there. Then it's going to turn into a line and potentially produce some embedded tornadoes within it. So this is what it could look like at 5 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. And this is what it could look like at 7 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. So If you're out there, especially in Sioux City areas, Columbus, if you're in Columbus, Nebraska, Fremont, Nebraska, Pierce, Nebraska, if you're in Sioux City, Iowa, if you're in, or Sioux Falls, South Dakota, those are the hot spots areas that we could be seeing a heightened chance for definitely a tornado today. And then keep in mind we got that 10% tornadoes going around it, and then farther down south, you can see that this is more of a conditional threat, but we could still have a few tornadoes down here in parts of northern Kansas as well. That's also something to be watching. So, yeah, and we don't completely know if storms are going to fire out there in western Oklahoma, but they have a potential to. All right, so let's check out CAPE. This stands for Convective Available Potential Energy. We have plenty of storm fuel out here today, as you can see right here, potentially getting up to 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram, which is high on with CAPE, pretty high. That's just plenty of storm fuel out there. So these storms have a lot of storm fuel. And then switching over to SIGTOR, stands for, this is a significant tornado parameter. This is kind of just looking at where we could be seeing some of those tornadoes. You can see like we're going to have some pretty high levels out there of SIGTOR, up to 5 potentially, which is pretty high. So definitely got to be watching this very closely if you're out here today, as we could be seeing a potential tornado outbreak. And then switching out to updraft helicity here, you can see this is kind of like all the rotation track or the updraft track and stuff, like the run to hour maximum updraft helicity you can see right there. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a pretty big day out there, so definitely be staying weather aware. Definitely have a way to get alerts and everything like that. Know where you're going to go if you do end up in a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning or anything like that, and identify a safe spot and everything. And we're also having a lot of this moisture get pulled up from the Gulf with 70-degree dew points out there, which is going to be pretty crazy. So yeah, and then we're gonna have that dry line set up and stuff. So it's gonna be a pretty dangerous severe weather day out there, so definitely get prepared for that. You can see the dry line set up right there with all that bone dry air and that moist air. You can see on Monday we're going to have some of these storms start to form out there, having a chance to produce tornadoes, potentially violent, intense to violent tornadoes out there, as you can see right there, and kind of turn into a line, mesoscale convective system, producing embedded tornadoes. So this is kind of what Monday could look like at 5 p.m. Eastern right here. This is what it could look at 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So Monday is likely going to be potentially worse than today. Likely because there's a 15% tornado risk with a tornado conditional intensity group 2. So tomorrow on Monday is likely going to be potentially one of the worst severe weather days of 2026 so far. We're just going to have plenty of storm fuel out here. It's going to be pretty insane. As you can see right here, a lot of storm fuel moving out there. And if we check out the soundings here, we do have a TOR sounding out there. So yeah, that's pretty much all the CAPE that we could be seeing come up out there. But we're going to have plenty of storm fuel. And then SIGTOR stands for, this is a significant tornado parameter. You can see that we're going to have a lot of pretty high values of SIGTOR out there tomorrow. So definitely keep in mind that Monday is likely going to be a intense severe weather day, and definitely be staying weather aware for Monday. And to stay prepared for this severe weather threat, make sure you're having a way to get alerts, identify a safe spot to take shelter if needed, stay tuned to forecasts, and a tornado watch means conditions are favorable, and a severe thunderstorm watch means conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms. Tornado watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes. And if you know anyone out in any of these risks I've talked about, please let them know, as this is going to be a very serious severe weather threat, unfortunately. And we had a flash flood emergency last night in somewhere out there in Missouri. So definitely be aware for flooding, as I think that is going to continue. I think we're going to continue to have some flood warnings, flash flood warnings and stuff like that come out, as we're just going to have these some of these slow-moving storms, and just dump a lot of rain out there, leading to flash flooding with these severe weather threats. So definitely on top of the severe weather, there's going to be flooding, so definitely be aware for flooding. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roadways, and everything like that. And if you do end up in a flash flood warning, get to higher ground. Talk about some of the fire weather now, as we could be expecting some fire weather today out here. One is out there in Sacramento areas in California. You guys could be dealing with some fire weather today. You guys got fire weather conditions out there. Then the Texas Panhandle, southwestern Kansas, and the Oklahoma Panhandle, you guys have extreme fire risk today, so it's likely going to be pretty crazy out there with fire conditions. Even as we get into tomorrow on Monday, the fire weather is going to continue out here, so definitely don't be throwing your cigarette out the window. as it's going to be serious with fire weather, as I don't have any good news today in today's weather video. And that's pretty much all I got for you in today's video. We're seeing a serious severe weather threat, so it is very critical for you to be staying weather aware. You need to have a way to get alerts and everything like that. And stay tuned for more live streams that I might do. You can tune into other YouTubers that might do live streams too, and like the weather news and stuff. So definitely this is going to be a very serious severe weather threat, and this is not the type of storms that you want to be messing with. So make sure you be staying weather aware. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next weather update video.